Maps Are Flat, Globes Are Round by Meg Grieve. Learn about maps and globes, how they're similar, how they're different, and how they're used. A map is flat. A map has colors like green or blue. A map always gives us a bird's eye view. That's a view from above. A globe is round, so it sits on a stand. Turn it around to see oceans and land. There are many different types of maps, big ones and little ones, just for our laps. Street maps show us where to drive cars. Astronomers use a map of the stars. Divers use maps to explore the ocean floor. You might use one to find a toy store. If you like to hike, walk, or roam, a map or a globe will get you home. Glossary. Here are some terms that the author thought you might need to know in order to understand this text. Astronomers. Astronomers are people who study objects in outer space. Astronomers use maps of the stars, telescopes, and computers to study the universe. Divers. Divers are people who swim down into deep water. They have to wear special equipment that lets them breathe underwater. A globe. A globe is a sphere or ball-shaped model with a map of the earth printed on it. Globes usually show larger areas of land and water, such as continents and oceans. Map. A map is a drawing that shows where things are, such as towns, roads, rivers, or mountains. People use maps when they need to know how to get somewhere. Oceans. Oceans are the largest bodies of water on Earth. The water is salty. There are 5 major oceans: the Pacific, Atlantic, Indian, Arctic, and Southern. And a stand. A stand holds a globe in place to keep it from rolling. Sometimes the globe is stuck on the stand. Sometimes you can take the globe off the stand. Now let's learn how to read a map. Reading Maps by Anne Matsky. How do you get from one place to the next? Learn how to read a map. Reading maps. A map is a drawing of a certain place. Reading a map helps you discover places far away or nearby. Cartographers make maps so you can find your way around the world. Like books, maps have titles. The title helps you pick the map you need. Finding your way. A compass rose is a direction finder that always points north on a map. The 4 cardinal directions are north, south, east, and west. North is toward the North Pole. South is toward the South Pole. East is to the right, and west is to the left. Maps use symbols. Symbols may be pictures, lines, colors, or dots. A map key, or legend, is a decoder. explaining what symbols mean. Maps are drawn to scale, showing places much smaller than they really are. It says which states are on this map. Well, in the yellow, Miss Powell sees Wyoming. In the red is Nebraska. The blue is Kansas. And the green is Colorado. It says political maps use lines to mark boundaries of states and countries. A scale bar measures the distance between places on a map. It tells you the distance in the real world. It says there is a star by Lincoln because it is the state capital. How many miles is it from Omaha to Lincoln? Well, I see on my legend that each of those dashes is 10 miles. From Lincoln to Omaha, I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 dashes. 5 times 10 is 50. It is 50 miles from Omaha to Lincoln, Nebraska. Globes. Globes show the truest shape of land and water. A globe is a small model of the Earth. The Earth seems flat, but pictures taken from space show the Earth is round like a sphere. It says satellite pictures help cartographers study difficult places to travel, like mountains. Look at the globe. The big green areas are land, and the big blue areas are water. Water covers more than half of the Earth's surface. The equator is an imaginary line around the middle of the Earth. It divides the Earth into 2 equal parts called hemispheres. The equator is halfway between the North and South poles. Map grids make it easy to find a place. The location of a place never changes. Lines of longitude run up and down, and lines of latitude run around the Earth. The treasure hunting game of geocaching uses map coordinates to find an absolute location and a prize. Every place on Earth has a specific address called an absolute location. Maps of all kind. A topographical map uses lines to show high and low places. Lines close together mean the land is steep like mountains. Lines further apart mean the land is flat like plains. Climate maps show weather conditions. Cartographers use color to show areas that may be warmer or colder. So on this map, your purples and blues are on the coldest side, and your oranges and reds are on the warmer side. As you can see, North Carolina is in that orange region. So that means that we're on the warmer side, but we're not in the warmest place in the United States. It says pick up a map or spin a globe. Discover the world far away or right nearby. Try drawing your own map. Think about your house or your school. Draw all of the rooms. Picture glossary. Cartographers, people who make maps. Climate, the usual weather in a place. Grids, a set of straight lines that cross each other to form a pattern of squares. Hemispheres, the 2 halves of a sphere, like the Earth. Legend, the words written on a map to explain what different symbols stand for. And scale, the ratio between the measurements on a map and the actual measurements.